morning, everybody. I hope despite what 2020 has brought us all, that we're able to enjoy and just be grateful and thankful that God has placed us all here. There are so many people who did make it to this point, and just realize that God has a purpose for you because you are still here today. So with that being said, unfortunately, I'm not spending Thanksgiving with my family. It's literally the first Thanksgiving, I believe. I'm sure you guys are interested in hearing about my fieldwork experience, where I've been for the past 3 months. And so I just want to update you all on what's going on. I think I went from just like seeing a couple of patients at a time to almost a full caseload. There were at least 6 to 7 patients. You see each patient for 90-minute treatment. So if you don't really understand inpatient rehab, let me start there. So inpatient rehab takes patients that have left the acute care setting, just been in the hospital. So inpatient rehab is very intense, a very demanding schedule for the clients. They have to be stable enough to participate in 3 hours of either occupational therapy, physical therapy, or speech therapy each day. Communication was always weird there throughout the facility. There was never like a set plan or guidelines or protocol in place. And so it was just kind of all over the place. So that puts me into COVID, being in a pandemic while completing my level 2 field work. So I was initially told that patients coming into the rehab facility had to test negative twice. I was told this on several occasions. That made me feel better, about the experience. Well, I think it was like my 9th week, I believe. We get a patient who I'm going through the chart and I'm getting ready to do their eval, and I'm seeing that they have not tested negative twice. They're post-COVID, so they had COVID at the hospital. They're coming here to try to build up their strength and everything. So I'm not seeing where there's any 2 negative tests. I'm just like, okay, did they even test negative before coming here? Long story short, they did not. They were continuing to test positive. They're trying to say like it takes longer for some people to fight off the virus. So although they're not in the contagious period anymore, that it's still going to show up as them being positive, or them being positive for COVID. So this was this situation here. This man was continuing to test positive, and I addressed it with the therapy director, fieldwork educator, and I just told him, as a student, I was told this, and regardless of his situation, I don't feel comfortable seeing him. And so I didn't see him. So this is what happened. I was in his room. We didn't know for sure. We didn't have a for sure negative test for him. So I'm in his room doing his eval. I get a text from my clinical instructor like, hey, just to let you know, like, make sure you wash your hands really good. He's also on C. diff precautions, y'all. So I'm already gowned up, gloved up, mask on, my goggles on and everything, because he has C. diff. So I'm in the room and I get a text and I look at my watch and they say, make sure you really wash your hands, because not only does he have C. diff, but he's continuing to test positive for COVID. So after that, I told them, I let everybody know, basically, I didn't feel comfortable seeing him, so I didn't. Well, my clinical instructor was just like really adamant about me seeing him for some reason, because she wanted me to have experience with amputees. He was also an amputee. So I'm like, okay, I get it, but this ain't it. This ain't it. Like, I don't want to. Well, I feel like she was just constantly kind of like pressuring me to see him. And at that point, I was just like, you know what, whatever. Like, you've seen him. Another therapist has seen him. At this point, it is what it is. I'll just put on 2 masks and see the man. I'm already going to have on my gown and gloves because he has C. diff. So I saw him and I didn't get COVID. That was my 9th week. So that whole situation made me realize that the communication throughout the entire facility is just, it's not effective at all. Nobody knows proper protocol, what to do if patients do test positive there. Mind you, COVID been going on since the beginning of this year. Y'all should have had a plan in place. Fast forward to yesterday. Yesterday was my last day of field work. Thank the Lord, hallelujah. Every day I come in just frustrated, not happy. I'm like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. Not this type of setting. Like, I love occupational therapy, but I don't want to work in inpatient rehab. So fast forward to today, or yesterday, I have an eval. I go through her chart the day before, not only the electronic chart, but also the paper chart. I see that she has 2 negative tests for COVID. So I'm like, okay. Right before I go in to see her, the doctor has her chart. So we went on a hunt looking for a chart. The doctor has a chart. We're looking through a chart. It doesn't say, you know, anything about precautions or anything, like nothing. So I go in the room. The lady is just like, I'm asking her the typical eval questions, but I have to get her in the shower. So I'm gloved up, getting the towels ready, and I'm trying to like get her to the bathroom. Well, during the eval, something, I don't know if this discernment, y'all, I tell you, I be my discernment, y'all. I just felt something not right. Like, something just didn't feel right. And I had read up on the woman, so I knew, you know, her past medical history and everything. The way that she was presenting yesterday just did not line up with what I read in her chart. So I'm like, well, what is going on? So I immediately text my CI, like, will you bring me a gate belt? Because I'm trying to get this lady in the shower, and it's just, she was just extremely, extremely weak, and it didn't make sense. I can't go into a lot of detail, obviously, about her history and all that, but it just didn't make sense. Y'all, the lighting is going in and out, I think, because I'm moving so much. So I'm like, just bring me a gate belt so I feel good about it, because her whole left side was just giving out on her. Like, any type of movement we made, she was just like flopping like that. And it doesn't say anything about extreme left-sided weakness or neglect or anything like that in her chart. So I'm just like, what? I'm touching her and she's super hot, like hot. And I even asked her, I was like, are you like, do you feel bad? I'm like, are you hot? Do you feel hot? And she was like, yeah, I've been hot since last night. I'm like, you're very warm. And so at this point, she's still just kind of like flopping. Like, we're standing and her arm is just like flopping over. And I'm like, let's have a seat. So I sat her down on the bed, and my clinical instructor at this point is like, I'm on my way down. And so she comes to the door and she tells me to come here. So I come to the door and she says she's on enhanced precautions for COVID. We had to stop the eval right now. That was her exact words. You go home, take a shower, and I'll go in there and get her back in the bed. Y'all, literally my mouth freaking dropped under my mask. My eyes probably almost popped out of my head. I'm looking like, how? I looked through this lady's chart. Nobody has told us this going into this lady's room. I've been in here for 30 minutes all up in her face. Of course, I got my mask and goggles and gloves on, but I'm all up in this lady's face. How did she test? When did she test positive for COVID? Or why are y'all speculating that she might have COVID? It's my last day. So I go home, take a shower, come back. We talked to the therapy director. Therapy director knows nothing about this situation. The doctor who had her chart, when we went looking for her chart, was the one who placed her on enhanced precautions. Did not mention to anybody, oh, this lady might possibly have COVID. Don't go in her room and treat her until we run more tests. Y'all, I get a call this morning that the lady did test positive for COVID. Again, where's the effective communication throughout the facility? It's my last day. I've been exposed to COVID, like all up in me and this lady in her business. Like, of course I had my mask on, but it all could have been avoided if y'all just communicated. Y'all, I was so upset, so upset. So this is why I'm here eating by myself. I initially was gonna go home with my mom and stepdad, and I just said, you know what, I'm not gonna do it because the woman tested positive. I don't know what that means. Like, I'm speaking and I'm claiming that I'm healed in Jesus' mighty name. Praying and hoping that when I do get tested, obviously I'm gonna wait a few days because I just got exposed. When I do get tested, that it will come back negative. It will. I'm seeing the negative right now in Jesus' name. I thank God. I thank God, Jesus, that he got me through, because it was days that I did not want to keep pushing. I made up my mind, y'all. It was week 5. I called my mama crying. I said, I'm not doing this. I'm not. I'm done with it. I don't want to do it anymore. I'll figure something else out, but I'm not doing it. This is not for me. I had made up in my mind that I could not keep going. I was not going to make it to my 12-week mark, y'all. And I feel like it was nobody but God who literally kept pushing me through, y'all. Because had it not been for him, I would have just given up. And I'm not a give up type person. I don't give up on things, especially things like I've been in school all my life. So at this point, it was just like, Terry, you don't give up. What are you doing? But at that point, I wanted to give up completely. Every single morning, I woke up just, oh my gosh, just like dreading it, not happy, coming in frustrated, y'all, and I made it. I'm so happy to be able to say that I made it through. I did not give up. Y'all, I wanted to give up so bad. I'm sorry. I wanted to give up so bad. That's how hard. I have never experienced anything as challenging as this. Like, it was mentally, physically, like, it was just challenging all together, all around, every aspect. And I just wasn't happy. I just felt like it wasn't for me. So it goes to show that God is so real, and he continues to provide and just continues to push us even when we feel like we can't. Like, I made it through, y'all, and it was by God's grace that I made it through. And I don't do this crying crap on no camera. Like, I be talking about people for crying on camera. But it's just, again, all of this is it's transparency. Like, I want y'all to understand that I still go through it. Like, everybody's like, oh, you in a doctor program, you're gonna be a doctor. Y'all, the process, like, none of this is easy. None of this has been easy for me. All of this has been such a challenge. And the fact that I just keep pushing myself, and it gets overwhelming at times, because it's like, when am I gonna just get completely burnt out? Because I just push myself and push myself and push myself. Like, when am I gonna get burnt out? Because I'm just constantly pushing. I pushed myself to this point. I mean, it's all gonna be worth it in the end, but y'all, I can say that it's a challenge. It has not come easy. And I'm just ready to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to cry, and it really wasn't. But I hope you all are having a great Thanksgiving. I'm hoping that I can go ahead and get this up today on Thanksgiving, so you all can have something to look forward to. And obviously, again, I didn't want to make this negative, an all negative thing. But I do find positive out of it, that I did make it through the end of it. And I didn't think that I could. So just keep pushing, y'all. It might not look like you can make it through. I seriously didn't think I could, and I did. So stay encouraged, stay motivated. This too shall pass. We shall see brighter days. Y'all continue just praying for me and with me along this journey. And I thank you guys for supporting me. Like, the support means everything, because sometimes I do feel like giving up, and having that support and those people behind me continuing to just cheer me on and pray for me means so much. So again, enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your holiday season, and you'll see me back soon. I'm thinking about doing Vlogmas. Y'all, it's every day, so pray for me, but I'm really thinking about it. So yes, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, and we out.